If you eat a banana by itself first thing in the morning, you might be doing more to your blood sugar than you ever imagined. And no, I am not about to tell you to stop eating bananas. That is not what this video is about. What I am going to show you is something much smaller, much simpler, and much easier to fix than most people realize. The same banana can affect your morning very differently depending on what you eat with it, when you eat it, how ripe it is, and whether it is part of a real breakfast or just something you grab alone on an empty stomach. Same banana, same person. But inside the bloodstream, the outcome can feel completely different. Stick with me for the next few minutes because this one quiet little habit could be working against you every single morning without you ever noticing it. And once you understand why, you may never look at your breakfast the same way again. That first meal of the day may seem small, but it often sets the tone for hours afterward. Your energy, your focus, your hunger, your cravings, and even how steady you feel by mid-morning. So it is worth giving this just a few minutes of your attention now because the fix is not complicated. It does not require giving up fruit, it does not require counting every gram of sugar, and it does not require turning breakfast into a project. It simply comes down to understanding how your body handles that banana once it enters your system. Welcome back to the channel. Here we talk about simple food and health habits that matter more as we get older, especially the everyday choices that can affect blood sugar, energy, digestion, and long-term wellness. I want to say clearly right at the start, I am not here to scare you away from fruit. Fruit is real food. It contains fiber, potassium, vitamins, water, and natural compounds that are very different from processed sweets or packaged snacks. A banana is not the enemy. The goal of this video is not to make you afraid of bananas. The goal is to help you understand how to eat them in a smarter way, especially if you are over 60, dealing with blood sugar concerns, or simply noticing that your energy is not as steady in the morning as it used to be. This is not about restriction, it is about understanding. Because when you understand what is happening inside your body, you no longer need to follow random food rules that make you feel confused or guilty. You can make small changes that actually make sense. And those small changes are often the ones that last. Before we get into the details, I want to tell you that the single most surprising point in this whole video is coming a little later, and it has to do with something almost nobody thinks about when they eat a banana: how ripe it actually is. It sounds like a tiny detail. It is not. If you have ever wondered why some mornings you feel steady and full for hours, but other mornings you feel shaky, foggy, hungry again, or suddenly craving something sweet by 10 o'clock, that piece of the puzzle may explain more than you think. So stay with me until the end, because by the time we finish, you will have a simple way to look at your breakfast and ask one powerful question. Is there anything here slowing this sugar down? But first, I want to hear from you. Down in the comments, tell me your age, and tell me honestly, do you usually eat fruit completely on its own in the morning, or do you pair it with something else? Do you eat a banana with yogurt, eggs, nuts, oatmeal, or peanut butter? Or do you usually just grab it alone and call that breakfast? There is no wrong answer here. I ask because so many people have been eating the same breakfast for years without ever questioning it. Sometimes we inherit habits from childhood. Sometimes we pick them up because they feel healthy, and sometimes we just do what is quick. And if you are watching this while eating breakfast right now, I would especially love to know what is on your plate this morning. The comments help other people watching realize they are not the only ones figuring this out. So type that in now, before you forget, and then let's keep going. Let's start with what is actually happening inside your body when you eat something sweet, like a banana, on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. This part often gets skipped in nutrition advice, and that is why people end up confused. They hear one person say bananas are healthy, then they hear another person say bananas are bad for blood sugar. Then someone else says fruit is fine, but only at certain times. Before long, breakfast starts feeling like a math problem. But the mechanism is actually simple. Picture your bloodstream like a river. Your blood sugar level is like the water level in that river. Sometimes calm and steady, sometimes rising quickly, sometimes dropping too fast. When you eat carbohydrates, your digestive system breaks them down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream and gives your body fuel. A banana contains natural sugar and starch. That does not make it bad. It simply means it affects blood sugar, just like many other carbohydrate foods do. Now, if there is nothing else in your stomach to slow the process down, no protein, no fat, no meaningful fiber from other foods, that glucose can enter the bloodstream more quickly. It is a little like opening a floodgate. The river rises fast. Your body notices that rise and responds by releasing insulin. Insulin helps move glucose out of the bloodstream and into the cells where it can be used for energy or stored for later. That is a normal process. Your body is supposed to do that. But when glucose enters quickly, insulin often has to respond quickly too. And for some people, especially as they get older, or if they are already dealing with insulin resistance, that quick rise can be followed by a noticeable dip. That dip is what many people describe as a mid-morning crash. You ate breakfast, but an hour or two later, you feel hungry again, maybe a little shaky, maybe foggy, maybe irritable. Maybe you start looking for crackers, cookies, coffee, or something sweet even though lunch is still far away. This is one reason the same breakfast that felt perfectly fine in your 30s or 40s may not feel the same in your 60s or 70s. It does not mean your body has turned against you. It just means your body may need a little more support now than it used to. And that support can be simple. Now here is the part that changes everything. If you eat that same banana with protein, healthy fat, or extra fiber, the whole experience changes. A spoonful of natural peanut butter, a few almonds or walnuts, plain Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs on the side, oatmeal with milk and seeds. These foods slow digestion. They help slow how quickly the stomach empties and how quickly the sugar from the banana reaches the bloodstream. The sugar amount in the banana has not disappeared, but the speed has changed. And speed matters. Instead of a fast rush, you get a slower, steadier release. Think of the difference between dumping a bucket of water onto dry soil all at once versus using a slow sprinkler. The bucket overwhelms the ground. Some water runs off. Some spots get soaked. Some stay dry. The sprinkler gives the same ground time to absorb the water slowly. Your body often handles food in a similar way. A banana alone may act more like the bucket. A banana paired with protein and fat acts more like the sprinkler. That is the big idea behind this video. We are not trying to remove the banana, we are trying to slow it down. With that picture in mind, let's walk through the most common banana mistakes people make in the morning and the simple fix for each one. The first mistake is eating a banana completely alone on an empty stomach and calling that your entire breakfast. This is probably the most common habit. People do it because it feels healthy. It feels light, it feels clean, it feels better than a pastry, a donut, or skipping breakfast entirely. And to be fair, a banana is a better choice than many processed breakfast foods. But if that banana is the whole meal, especially first thing in the morning when your stomach is empty, it may not keep your blood sugar or energy as steady as you expect. There is no real protein. There is almost no fat. And while bananas do contain fiber, one banana alone may not be enough to slow the whole process in the way your body needs. So the sugar from that banana can arrive fairly quickly. For example, imagine someone who wakes up, drinks a cup of coffee, grabs a banana, and rushes out the door. For the first 30 or 40 minutes, they may feel fine. But then mid-morning comes. Suddenly they feel hungry again. They feel tired. Maybe they feel a little anxious or shaky. They wonder why they are craving something sweet even though they already ate breakfast. That does not mean the banana was bad. It means the banana was alone. That is the key difference. The fix is very simple. Pair the banana with protein or healthy fat. Spread a tablespoon of natural peanut butter or almond butter on it. Eat it with a small handful of walnuts, almonds, or peanuts. Slice it into plain yogurt. Have it beside eggs. Eat it with cottage cheese. Add it to oatmeal that includes milk, seeds, or nut butter. You do not need to make this complicated. You just need to avoid sending the banana into your system by itself. Even one small pairing can make the breakfast feel more complete. If you are in a rush, the fastest option might be half a banana with a spoonful of peanut butter, or a banana with a small handful of nuts. That takes less than 1 minute. And for many people, that 1 minute can be the difference between steady energy and a mid-morning crash. A helpful bonus tip is this. Do not think of the banana as the full breakfast. Think of it as one part of breakfast. That mental shift alone changes everything. The second mistake is not paying attention to how ripe your banana is. This is the point I mentioned earlier, and it surprises a lot of people. A banana changes as it ripens. When a banana is greener and firmer, more of its carbohydrate is still in the form of starch, including resistant starch. Resistant starch digests more slowly. As the banana ripens, those starches gradually convert into simpler sugars. That is why a soft, spotty, very ripe banana tastes much sweeter than a firmer yellow one. The taste is telling you something. The sweeter, softer banana is easier and faster for your body to break down. Again, that does not make it bad, but it does mean it can affect blood sugar differently, especially if eaten alone. Picture two people, both eat a banana every morning. One always chooses the softest banana on the counter. Brown spots, very sweet, almost dessert-like. The other chooses a firmer banana, mostly yellow, maybe with a tiny bit of green near the stem. Same food name, same habit, but not exactly the same metabolic effect. The firmer banana is likely to digest more slowly. The very ripe banana is likely to act faster. This matters most when the banana is eaten alone or with a very small breakfast. So what is the fix? Do not force yourself to eat a hard, chalky, unripe banana. Nobody enjoys that. Just lean toward bananas that are mostly yellow and still a little firm, especially in the morning. If you have blood sugar concerns, try not to make the very soft, heavily speckled banana your default morning banana unless you are pairing it well. A practical habit is to buy bananas at different stages of ripeness. Choose a few that are slightly green and a few that are already yellow. That way the whole bunch does not become overripe at the same time. And if your bananas do get very ripe, do not waste them. Peel them, slice them, and freeze them for smoothies. But when you use them in smoothies, make sure the smoothie includes protein and fiber, not just fruit and juice. That brings us right back to the same principle. Slow it down. The third mistake is treating fruit as the entire meal instead of one part of a balanced meal. This is closely related to the first mistake, but it deserves its own section because so many people were taught that fruit for breakfast is automatically the perfect healthy choice. And yes, fruit is healthy, but a meal made only of fruit is not the same as a balanced breakfast. Especially after 60, your body often does better when breakfast contains protein, fiber, and healthy fat. These nutrients help you feel full longer. They slow digestion. They help prevent that fast rise and fall that can leave you tired or hungry again. Think about a breakfast like this: a banana and a bowl of sweet cereal. Many people would call that healthy because there is fruit involved, but the cereal may be another fast digesting carbohydrate, and the banana adds even more carbohydrate. There may not be enough protein or fat to balance the meal. Now compare that to scrambled eggs with half a banana on the side. Same fruit, very different breakfast. Or plain Greek yogurt with banana slices and chia seeds. Same fruit, very different effect. Or oatmeal made with milk, topped with banana and a spoonful of nut butter. Again, same fruit, but now the body receives the banana inside a more balanced meal. That is what matters. The fix is to build the meal first, then add the banana. Start with a protein base: eggs, plain yogurt, cottage cheese, a protein smoothie, oatmeal made with milk, tofu scramble, or any protein-rich breakfast you enjoy. Then add the banana as a side, topping, or natural sweetness. This keeps the banana in its proper role. It is not the whole breakfast. It is part of the breakfast. A good way to remember this is anchor first, fruit second. The anchor is protein, fat, or fiber. The fruit is the add-on. This one idea can improve almost any breakfast without making it complicated. The fourth mistake is drinking your banana instead of eating it, especially in a thin smoothie or juice that does not contain enough protein or fiber. Smoothies can be healthy, but not all smoothies are equal. A smoothie made from banana, mango, orange juice, and maybe a little honey may look healthy because it is full of fruit. But inside the body, it can behave very differently from a balanced meal. When fruit is blended, it becomes easier to drink quickly. You may consume more fruit in less time than you would if you were chewing it. Also, a thin fruit drink moves through the stomach quickly, especially if there is little protein, fat, or fiber to slow it down. That means the sugar can arrive faster. Imagine eating one banana, half a mango, and an orange. That would take time to chew. Now imagine drinking all of that in a glass in 3 minutes. Your body experiences those two situations differently. This is why fruit juice is often more of a problem than whole fruit. Juice removes or reduces much of the structure that slows digestion. It also makes it very easy to consume a lot of fruit sugar quickly. The fix is not to stop smoothies forever. The fix is to build smoothies like real meals. If you use banana in a smoothie, add protein, plain Greek yogurt, protein powder, milk, soy milk, cottage cheese if you like the texture. Any solid protein source that fits your diet. Then add fiber or healthy fat, chia seeds, ground flaxseed, rolled oats, nut butter, avocado, nuts. Now the smoothie becomes thicker, more filling, and slower to digest. For example, a banana blended with juice is one thing. A banana blended with plain Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and milk is a completely different breakfast. Same banana, different outcome. A helpful rule is this. If your smoothie is thin enough to drink like juice, it probably needs more structure. Make it thicker, make it slower. Make it something your body has to digest like a meal. If you buy bottled smoothies, be careful. Many of them are mostly fruit juice with fruit puree. They may look healthy on the label, but they can act more like a sweet drink than a balanced breakfast. If you enjoy bottled juice or fruit drinks, try pairing them with protein instead of drinking them alone. Even a boiled egg, a handful of nuts, or a piece of cheese can make a difference. Again, the goal is not perfection. The goal is not letting sugar arrive alone. The fifth mistake is eating your banana separately from the rest of the meal, especially much later, almost like a standalone snack. This point needs to be explained carefully. Eating fruit at the end of a meal is not automatically bad. In fact, for some people, eating carbohydrates after protein and fat may be gentler than eating carbohydrates first. So the problem is not simply banana after food. The problem is when you finish breakfast, clean up, move on with your morning, and then 15, 20, or 30 minutes later, you peel a banana by itself. At that point, the banana may function more like a separate snack than part of the meal. The protein and fat from breakfast may not buffer it in the same way as when the banana is eaten with the meal. For example, imagine someone eats eggs and toast at 7:30. Then at 8 o'clock, while tidying the kitchen, they notice a banana on the counter and eat it casually. They may think, I had a balanced breakfast, but that banana came on its own timeline. For some people, that may still create a noticeable rise and fall. The fix is simple. Keep the banana connected to the meal. Slice it onto your yogurt, eat it beside your eggs, add it to oatmeal, blend it into a protein smoothie. Have a few bites of protein or fat with it if you want it later. If you enjoy fruit later in the morning, that is fine. Just pair it then too. A banana with almonds, a banana with peanut butter, a banana with cottage cheese, a banana with plain yogurt. That way, even if the fruit is not part of breakfast, it is still not standing alone. This is such a small change that most people overlook it. But small changes matter because they are easy to repeat. The sixth mistake is not noticing how much banana you are actually eating. Most of us think of one banana as one simple unit, but bananas vary a lot in size. A small banana and a very large banana are not the same amount of food, even though both are called one banana. And when it comes to blood sugar, portion size matters. A very large banana contains more carbohydrate than a small one. If you pair that large banana with only a tiny amount of protein or fat, the balance may still be off. It is like building a small dam in front of a large wave. The dam helps, but it may not be enough. Picture one person eating one small banana with 2 eggs. Then picture another person eating one oversized banana with 1 small spoonful of yogurt. Both might say, I had banana with protein. But the actual balance is very different. The fix is not to become obsessive about measuring bananas. Just notice size. If the banana is large, either eat half or increase the pairing. If you want the whole large banana, have more protein with it, more yogurt, more nuts, more cottage cheese, more eggs, more nut butter. If your appetite is smaller, half a banana is completely reasonable. You do not have to eat the whole banana just because that is how it comes packaged. Slice half into oatmeal or yogurt and save the other half for later. Or freeze the leftover half for a smoothie. This is especially useful for people over 60 who do not want a huge breakfast but still want something satisfying. A smaller portion paired well is often better than a larger portion eaten alone. Now let's pause for a moment. If any of this has been useful so far, consider subscribing to the channel. Videos like this are focused on simple, practical health habits that do not depend on fear, hype, or extreme rules. The goal here is not to make life harder. The goal is to make everyday choices easier to understand, because when you understand the reason behind a habit, you are much more likely to keep doing it. Now let's continue, because there are a few more details that can make this even more useful in real life. One important thing to remember is that morning blood sugar can already be a little different from later in the day for many people. Some people wake up with higher blood sugar because of natural hormone changes in the early morning. The body releases hormones that help wake you up, and those hormones can also affect glucose levels. So when you eat a fast-digesting carbohydrate alone first thing in the morning, you may be adding it on top of a system that is already more sensitive at that time. This does not happen the same way for everyone. But if you notice that fruit alone in the morning makes you feel tired later, while fruit later in the day does not bother you as much, this may be part of the reason. That is why breakfast quality matters. It is not just about the banana, it is about the timing. After an overnight fast, your first meal gives your body its first major signal of the day. If that meal is balanced, many people feel steadier. If it is mostly fast carbohydrate, some people feel a quick lift followed by a drop. So if you are someone who wakes up and eats a banana immediately, before anything else, try an experiment. For 1 week, do not remove the banana. Just change the pairing. For 1 week, do not remove the banana. Just change the pairing. Have it with yogurt, eggs, nuts, nut butter, or oatmeal. Then pay attention. How do you feel 90 minutes later? How is your hunger? How is your focus? Are you reaching for snacks sooner or later? Your own body will often teach you more than any rule can. Another detail is coffee. Many people eat a banana with coffee and call that breakfast. Coffee by itself can affect appetite and energy, and for some people, it can make shakiness feel worse if the meal is too light. So if your morning is only coffee plus banana, you may be getting quick energy without enough real fuel. Again, the fix is not complicated. Keep the coffee if you enjoy it, keep the banana if you enjoy it, but add the anchor: protein, fat, fiber. That anchor is what turns the morning from a quick hit into a steadier start. Now let's talk about what a better banana breakfast could actually look like, because advice is only useful if you can picture it. Option 1. Banana with peanut butter and Greek yogurt. Slice half or 1 small banana into a bowl of plain Greek yogurt. Add a spoonful of peanut butter or a sprinkle of chia seeds. This gives you protein, fat, fiber, and sweetness from the banana. Option 2. Banana with eggs. Have scrambled eggs or boiled eggs first, then eat the banana with the meal. This is simple and works well for people who do not like yogurt. Option 3. Banana oatmeal. Make oatmeal with milk instead of water. Stir in a spoonful of nut butter or ground flaxseed. Add banana slices on top. This gives you a slower, more filling breakfast than cereal with banana. Option 4. Protein smoothie. Use banana, plain yogurt or protein powder, chia seeds or flaxseed, and milk. Do not make the smoothie only fruit and juice. Option 5. Cottage cheese and banana. This may sound simple, but it is a strong pairing because cottage cheese is high in protein and digests slowly. Add cinnamon if you like a sweeter taste. Option 6. Banana with nuts. If you are in a rush, take a banana and a small handful of almonds or walnuts. It is not fancy, but it is much better than banana alone. These are not strict rules, they are examples. The real rule is, never let the banana walk into the bloodstream alone if you can help it. Now, let's do a quick recap so this stays clear. Mistake number 1 was eating a banana completely alone on an empty stomach and calling it breakfast. The fix is to pair it with protein or healthy fat, such as nuts, nut butter, yogurt, cottage cheese, or eggs. Mistake number 2 was reaching automatically for the softest, ripest, sweetest banana without realizing that ripeness changes how quickly the banana may affect blood sugar. The fix is to choose a mostly yellow, slightly firm banana when you can, especially in the morning, and save very ripe bananas for balanced smoothies or recipes. Mistake number 3 was treating fruit as the entire meal. The fix is to build breakfast around protein, fiber, and healthy fat first, then add the banana as a side or topping. Mistake number 4 was drinking banana in a thin, fruit-heavy smoothie or juice. The fix is to add protein and fiber so the smoothie behaves like a meal, not like a sweet drink. Mistake number 5 was eating the banana separately from the meal, especially much later, as a standalone snack. The fix is to keep it connected to protein and fat, either during the meal or whenever you eat it later. Mistake number 6 was ignoring banana size. The fix is to notice portion size, use half when needed, or increase the protein and fat if the banana is large. Notice how every one of these fixes comes back to the same principle. Slow it down. That is it. You do not need to fear fruit. You do not need to avoid bananas. You do not need to follow a complicated diet. You simply need to ask, what is slowing this down? If the answer is nothing, add something. That one question can change the way you build breakfast. And it is not only useful for bananas, it works with toast, cereal, oatmeal, fruit, rice, potatoes, crackers, any carbohydrate food. The goal is not to remove every carbohydrate. The goal is to give your body a steadier experience. This matters even more as we get older, because steady energy is not just about avoiding hunger. It affects how you move through the day. If your energy crashes mid-morning, you may feel less motivated to walk. You may crave snacks. You may drink more coffee. You may feel mentally foggy. You may feel like your body is unreliable, when the real issue may be that breakfast did not give you enough support. Small food changes can create a surprisingly big difference in how your day feels. And the best part is that these changes are realistic. Nobody is asking you to make a complicated breakfast every morning. Nobody is asking you to give up a food you enjoy. If you have eaten bananas your whole life, you can keep eating them. Just eat them smarter. Pair them. Balance them. Watch ripeness. Watch portion size. Keep them connected to the rest of your meal. That is the kind of change people can actually maintain. And if you are thinking, I have been eating bananas alone for years and I feel fine, that is okay too. Not every person responds the same way. Some people tolerate bananas alone without any noticeable issue. But if you are over 60, or if you have pre-diabetes, diabetes, blood sugar swings, mid-morning hunger, or energy crashes, this is worth paying attention to. You do not have to make it dramatic. Just test it. For the next 7 mornings, do not change everything. Only change one thing. If you normally eat a banana alone, pair it with something. If you normally choose very ripe bananas, try a firmer one. If you normally drink a fruit smoothie, add protein and fiber. If you normally eat a huge banana, try half. Then observe how you feel. Do you stay full longer? Do you feel less shaky? Do you snack less? Does your energy feel steadier? Those are practical signals. And if you monitor blood sugar at home, you may be able to see your own response more clearly. But even without a meter, many people can feel the difference. One important reminder: if you are managing diabetes, prediabetes, or taking medication that affects blood sugar, do not make major diet changes without guidance from your healthcare provider. This video is for general education. Your own situation may be different. Food is personal. Medication timing, activity level, sleep, stress, digestion, and overall health can all affect blood sugar. So use this information as a starting point, not as a replacement for personal medical advice. Now let me leave you with the simplest version of everything we discussed. A banana is not bad. A banana alone may not be enough. A ripe banana may act faster. A banana with protein, fat, and fiber is usually a smarter choice. That is the message. Not fear, not restriction, just better pairing. And once you understand that, breakfast becomes easier. You do not have to ask, is this food good or bad? You can ask, how am I eating it? That question is often much more useful, because many foods can be helpful or unhelpful depending on the context. A banana alone on an empty stomach is one context. A banana with Greek yogurt and chia seeds is another. A banana blended with juice is one context. A banana blended with protein and fiber is another. A very ripe large banana by itself is one context. Half a firmer banana with eggs or cottage cheese is another. The food is similar, the body's experience can be different. And that is the quiet lesson most people miss. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who eats a banana most mornings without thinking twice. A spouse, a sibling, a friend, someone in your walking group, or someone who is trying to eat better but still feels tired and hungry by mid-morning. Sometimes the most helpful advice is not the most dramatic advice. Sometimes it is one small change at breakfast. Before you go, comment below with your age and tell me which of these 6 mistakes sounded most familiar to you. Do you eat bananas alone? Do you usually choose very ripe bananas? Do you drink fruit smoothies? Do you pair your banana with protein already? And if you have a favorite banana pairing that keeps you full and steady, share it in the comments too. It may help someone else reading. Remember, you do not need to overhaul your entire diet tomorrow. Just choose one small fix. Pair the banana, choose a firmer one, use half. Add yogurt, add nuts, add eggs, add fiber to your smoothie. One small change, repeated daily, can become a powerful habit over time. This video is intended for general education and information only. It is not medical advice and it is not a substitute for guidance from a qualified healthcare professional or registered dietitian, especially if you are living with diabetes, prediabetes, kidney disease, digestive issues, or any condition that affects how your body handles blood sugar. If you take medication that affects blood sugar, food timing and food pairing may matter even more, so please discuss your routine with your healthcare provider before making major changes. Take care of yourself, keep learning about your body, and I will see you in the next video.